Recommend one candidate or not is strictly up to you. If anybody else wants to chime in, I'll be happy to let them chime in, and we'll go from there. So I did see a hand already. Yes, ma'am. And our mic holders tonight are out there already, so be ready. And I'd like to thank Dan Murphy, who did not know he was the Lions Club roadie until we had a mic cable problem tonight. Anyway, Ms. Nelson, go ahead.
My question is, it seems we're heading into, thank you. Is that working?
Nope.
We're over.
Yeah. Is that working?
No, it's not.
I can repeat the question.
So we're headed into the AI age right now, and I see that data centers are being pushed, and you're seeing a lot of news about that. Obviously in Nevada with our water and power issues, I think we're all kind of wondering what your thoughts are on that, and we're watching what's happening in Box Elder in Utah. So I think top of mind is, where do we stand, and are we aligning straight with what the government's trying to push? So that's my question is, where do you all stand on that?
Sure. The question is about AI and data centers, or just AI data centers? They're different and they're the same.
In general, data centers, they're really being pushed. I mean, and so I wanted to see where you're at with
Sure.
that, see what your alignment is.
Right. So the data centers, one of the first ones that came was switched down in Las Vegas. Then they actually moved up to Tahoe Industrial Complex. Those facilities don't use that terribly much water. They're just pure data centers. And every year, TRIC has to rotate out over $350 million of equipment because they rotate it out every 7 years, which then creates tax revenue to the state school fund and to the particular counties. I think it's more concerning is the AI data centers. They potentially use a ton more water. And in that respect, there are 3 different categorizations of that technology. There was the initial technology that used the water, and when it was done, you couldn't do anything with that water. And that's a huge problem. Can't have that. Second technology is what some people are doing now. They use on average about 10 to 12 homes utilize in a year. The better goal is the glycerin ones, which are not utilizing water, but they do use a little bit more power. So far within the state of Nevada, it's been a requirement that they have to go buy, purchase, and bring the power to the project. Otherwise, the projects are not being allowed. But in that respect, I also don't think they should be necessarily allowed within residential areas. However, that's not really a congressional matter. That is actually more of a local resource issue with your county commissioners or potentially with state legislation to try to address that. But in a short answer, that's where I'm at when it comes to the AI data centers. It's problematic, but in the same respect, there's a lot of people out there using AI. And so people that are completely against AI, just please quit using it. It's kind of like people that are against iPhones, quit using them, and quit using technology. So there's got to be a balance there, but we have to make sure they bring the power to the project. And I like the glycerin ones because they don't utilize the water. Which way do you want to go, Steve?
Actually, Ms. Benitez Thompson requested time, and being that she's solo.
I feel like a little princess over here. I'm gonna get whatever I want because I'm the only one. Double dog dare you to tell me no. I'm joking. Don't, because you will. You will. Don't. I thank you so much for the question. So there are 3 things that I hold in mind when we talk about AI. So first and foremost, concerns about the use of natural resources. And the only way that we're gonna make sure that as Nevada, we can make the decisions that are best for us, best for our concerns around water and use of natural resources is if we are allowed to make laws at the state and local level around them, which means that I oppose any federal preemption that would prevent states from making laws around AI. And we actually saw a measure that was tried to be part of the One Big Beautiful Bill that would take federal preemption and say states can't, for a decade, make any laws or regulations against AI. I'm absolutely against that. You need those local decision making because what we do here in Nevada is different than what's happening in Louisiana or other states. I mean, there are other states where they can't even understand the fact that we have water law because they've got so much of it, they're trying to give it away. That's not us here, right? So one, I'm opposed to preemption. Secondly, one of the biggest concerns I have about AI is job loss, especially for Nevada. We have one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation, and we also have one of the lowest college matriculation rates in the nation. So we have a lot of people who support their family, feed their family, pay for their gas and groceries with minimum wage and low wage jobs, right? Those are exactly the jobs that AI is going to replace. We are really susceptible and very vulnerable in Nevada to dramatic job loss by AI. So I think we have to protect human jobs first and foremost, and I think we need strong federal legislation to protect. It sounds so weird to say this, jobs for humans, like jobs for humans. Lastly, is I believe that the data centers have to pay their own way. They get tax abatements right now. They were put in place during the recession. There are market conditions that are incentivizing them in a way we don't need to anymore. They need to pay their fair share of taxes.
Very good. Any other Republicans want to take a stab at the AI issue? Go ahead and hand the mic over to Mr. Smith.
Test, okay, great. Obviously, AIs and data centers is a controversial issue when you see the media, everything that's going on out there in Utah. And I think part of the problem is what both of them have said. Okay.
It's you. It's 100% you.
Okay, I could fly an airplane, but I can't handle a mic. I'm sorry. No, it's controversial. So it's one of those things where test. All right, it's a controversial topic for sure, for a lot of reasons. Some of them have already been touched on. And it's one of those things where I look at things, I'm going, define the problem, what are the solutions that are out there? She touched on it too. A lot of it has to do with how the contracts are negotiated with the local communities and cities, and how the bigger tech industries will take advantage of that. I've seen it in the military when it comes to requirements documents and things of that nature, where the big industry will come in and make certain, or the military or whatever are failing to write the requirements properly. So it's a local issue in handling the big tech. When I want to identify the problem, certain things I look at, I have a nephew who builds data centers, so I reached out to him going, what are the issues and what are the challenges that we have? When it comes to the water, there are other technologies, just like anything else, technology changes and is improving. When it comes to the power source, there's things called, we've got a lot of potential here called geothermal. There's enhanced geothermal and then there's conventional geothermal. Enhanced geothermal has some other technologies that are coming online. The first question I ask is, how mature is that technology? The next question is, are there any use cases to make sure that we're not going to get taken advantage of? So on the federal level, I would like to work with some of those companies and bring them to Nevada and see if we can't prove those technologies and incentivize the big tech industries to come in and help fund that, so that we, the taxpayers, are not being taken advantage of. But now we have potential to take advantage of our geothermal, and this is one case, and then maybe improve it to the point where we're an energy exporter and take advantage of the potential new technologies. Sorry.
Anybody else on the R side want to take a stab? We have two candidates. Two candidates. Mr. Forbush looks to be first.
Yeah, so real quick, my concern is obviously the water, but the agricultural issue here. My concern is that these data centers are going to come in, they're buying up the water rights from ranches and farms, and we need to protect ranches and farms. They've been under attack for a long time on economics, for example, for many, many years, and water rights issues, and I want to protect that. I don't think we need to give up our ranches and farms for data centers, because at the end of the day, we need our ranches and our farms out there providing food for us. So that's one of my big concerns. I just want to keep it short and show Mike how to use the mic.
All right. Well, wait a second. All right. At the movie Top Gun, it's like 3 down snap. There was no danger here to take the shot, so I'll take it.
Mike said this earlier, but we've all gotten to know each other, and this is part of the fun. So people first and foremost, because protecting the people's jobs, rights, and such. People first. Protect our public lands, because the highest bidder, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or China, or whoever, shouldn't be coming in here. And last but not least, I cannot drink AI.
Thank you.
Mr. Shepard.
So, as I led with at the beginning, molten salt reactors and desalination, there's your power and water, solved it for you before we even got started. But this isn't even a long-term problem. Data centers, especially the AI, are going to be off-world in a few years. The costs of cooling and power offset by the launch costs are going to make that an inevitability. Between here and there, it's a handful of years, still something we need to plan for and protect against. And more importantly, it's not the only big demand that's going to try to come our way. It seems like you can't turn around and it's another new, I need power, another new, I need water. So we've got the reactors, we've got the water under our feet, we can solve this problem, and in just a few short years, these things will be off-world, and then we can find a new thing to worry about. And we'll solve that one too, because that's what we do. Thank you.
Excellent. Sherman Pulaski.
Awesome. There you go. It's down, and now everybody's getting the gist of it, right? I'd like to make 2 quick points here, really building on what James and the rest of the candidates have said. The first is we need to think about not just AI here in the state. We got to think which country in this world do we want to be leader on AI? I mentioned that my mom is from Taiwan. There's a saying, and I'll say in Chinese very quickly, I'll translate. In Chinese, 一山难容二虎, which means there can only be 2 tigers on the same mountain. There cannot be two tigers on the same mountain. We have a choice as to which country in this world is going to lead on AI. I think it's an important consideration to make. The second is think about the impact of AI on young people. I think it's important for any project, whether it be data centers, whether it be other issues, we got to think about the impact that it has on our young people in terms of critical thinking skills. I think it's important to support projects that encourage people to think critically. Important for people to think of that new technology and to innovate. And those are the things that I'd like to add to this conversation. Thank you.
All right, anybody else on the R side want to take a stab? Apparently not. I'll hold it back in. All right, so next question